became the king in all haste to appease matters, leaving Andronicus, a man in authority, for his deputy. The Menelaus, supposing that he had gotten a convenient time, stole certain vessels of gold out of the temple and gave some of them to Andronicus, and some he sold into Tyrus and the cities round about, which when Onias knew of a surety, he reproved him and withdrew himself into a sanctuary at Daphne that lieth by Antiochia. Wherefore Menelaus, in taking Andronicus apart, prayed him to get Onias into his hands, who being persuaded thereon so, and coming to Onias in deceit, gave him his right hand with oaths. And though he was suspected by him, yet persuaded he him to come forth of the sanctuary, whom forthwith he shut up without regard of justice. For the which cause not only the Jews, but many also of other nations took great indignation and were much grieved for the unjust murder of the man. And when the king was come again from the places about Cilicia, the Jews that were in the city, and certain of the Greeks that abhorred the fact also, complained because Onias was slain without cause. Therefore Antiochus was heartily sorry, and moved to pity, and wept because of the sober and modest behavior of him that was dead. And being kindled with anger, forthwith he took away Andronicus' purple, and rent off his clothes, and leading him through the whole city unto that very place where he had committed impiety against Onias, that slew he the cursed murderer. Thus the Lord rewarded him his punishment, as he had deserved. Now when many sacrileges have been committed in the city by Lysimachus with the consent of Menelaus, and the fruit thereof was spread abroad, the multitude gathered themselves together against Lysimachus, many vessels of gold being already carried away. Whereupon the common people rising and being filled with rage, Lysimachus armed about 3,000 men and began first to offer violence. One Orinus being the leader, a man far gone in years and no less in folly. They then, seeing the attempt of Lysimachus, some of them cast stones, some clubs, others taking handfuls of dust that was next at hand, cast them all together upon Lysimachus and those that sat upon him. Thus, many of them they wounded, and some they struck to the ground, and all of them they forced to flee. But as for the church robber himself, him they killed beside the treasury of these matters. Therefore there was an accusation laid against Menelaus. Now but the king came to Tyrus, 3 men that were sent from the Senate pleaded the cause before him. But Menelaus, being now convicted, promised Ptolemy the son of Dorymes to give him much money if he would pacify the king toward him. Whereupon Ptolemy, taking the king aside into a certain gallery, as it were to take the air, brought him to be of another mind. In so much that he discharged Menelaus from the accusations, who notwithstanding was cause of all the mischief in those poor men, who, if they had told their cause, before the Scythians should have been judged innocent, them he condemned to death. Thus, they that followed the matter for the city, and for the people, and for the holy vessels, did soon suffer unjust punishment. Wherefore, even they of Tyrus, moved with hatred of that wicked deed, caused them to be honorably buried. And so through the covetousness of them that were of power, Menelaus remained still in authority, increasing in malice, and being a great traitor to the citizens.